Dear Naomi, welcome to your old country. Before starting the virtual tour to your village of Tulova, we want to say that every single person we met on our way, including the village mayor and the priest, were warm, open-hearted and extremely helpful. Due to their support on every step of the research, we were able to reach the best results possible. It was a great pleasure for us to meet them, learn about your village and spend time there. So, let us see what the village is like. Tulova is comparatively big nowadays, about 900 citizens. It covers the area of about 200 hectares. The village is located 8 kilometers from the regional center, Snyatin, and about 90 kilometers from the center of province, Ivano-Frankivsk. It is clustered with Ustya village and governed by Ustya village administration. There is a school, a church, a first aid post, a village club, a library and a few shops in the village. Tulova School was created in 1868 and there are about 30 pupils there now. And this is where your great-grandfather was baptized. The Annunciation Church was founded in 1869. We were kindly invited to see the church Kostyniuk went to by the Greek Catholic priest, who also told us about the religious life of the community. It appears there are two congregations in the village nowadays, Greek Catholic and Orthodox. The church was originally built as a Greek Catholic church and your great-grandfather was baptized Greek Catholic. The Greek Catholic Church was forbidden and persecuted by Soviets, and this is when the Orthodox Church overtook the building. After Ukraine got its independence in 1991, Greek Catholic congregation came back to life, and it was agreed that the services will be held in the building of the same church. Thus, the church is shared by two congregations nowadays. The priests agree the time of the services, and the communities cooperate well when it goes about the renovation and redecoration of the church. The name of Tulova can be translated as hunt here. The legend goes that the lands around the village were particularly rich in fish and wild animals. The village is located on the hills on the bank of Prut River, one of the tributaries of Danube running into the Black Sea. The village mayor who took us around said that an enormous flood, when the Prut covered much of the surrounding area, took place in the second half of the 19th century. The senior citizens say that Kostyniuks originally come from the village of Karlov, which is a neighbor village. The name of the village was changed by Soviets in 1947, and it is called Prutivka now. When the flood came, 24 houses were moved from Karlov to Tulova hills. Kostyniuk's house was among them.
Хлопці сивими конями, та й забрали дівчиноньку з чорними бровами, та й забрали дівчиноньку з чорними бровами. Тепер в дівчиноньки, ні тата, ні неньки, тільки в саду вишневому піють соловейки, тільки в саду вишневому піють соловейки.
Tulova is about 600 years old. The first written record dates to 1444. We know that there were only 6 families living in the village in 1558. The number rose to 16 families in 1670. There were already 176 families when your great-grandfather Petro Kostyniuk was born. There were times when life was particularly hard. The lack of land to work on and rural poverty made people look for other ways of earning the living. A big group of Tulova citizens immigrated to America in 1900. They were also followed by their countrymen later, as life got no better at the beginning of the 20th century. Your great-grandfather Petro Kostyniuk was among those seeking the way out. People who went overseas mostly had the intention to earn money and come back. Still, most of them stayed, and it was probably a good decision, as the First World War, followed by World War II, as well as Stalin repressions, collectivization and other Soviet cruelties, were not easy to survive. Tulova remembers about Peter Zvarich, born in Tulova in 1877, who emigrated to Vegreville, Alberta, Canada, one of the founders of the Ukrainian Church of Canada, a writer and a businessman. They remember about Semen, or Simon Fotchuk, born in Tulova in 1883, who lived in Toronto, a teacher and an author of many books on pedagogy. As it appeared later, Tulova keeps memories about your great-grandfather Petro Kostyniuk too. The problem we faced when we started the research was that we didn't know the married name of Peter's sister Maria to continue the research. We knew her father's name, and it was the main key, along with the fact that her brother Petro immigrated to Canada. A few more details, such as the approximate birth dates and parents' names, could be helpful too. The research we were conducting in your village kept us in tension till the very last moment when we realized that we did catch the correct trace. Actually, we had two versions and we chose two traces to follow. It's hard to believe, but two of them proved to be correct. As you already know, there are about 30 Kostyniuks and 90 Fotchuks living in the village nowadays.
Очі мої, очі, що ви народили.
Having made a few inquiries and having visited a few old citizens, we got to the house of one of the oldest Tulova women, Natalia Kostyniuk, born in 1919. Everybody stated she has clear mind and very good memory, and it was true. She told us about Kostyniuk families who used to have contact with Canada in the past, but for her we would not be able to continue the research. Following Natalia's directions, we caught the trace of the first family and Maria Kostyniuk, a lady who never got married and preserved her maiden name. It really seemed we hit the spot at that moment. Maria was born in 1896. She passed away in 1976 when she was 80 years old. Since she didn't have any family, she had enough means to build a burial vault for herself, one of the biggest on the cemetery. The plaque was put later, and it says, "A gift to my dear sister from brother Andrew." We learned that Andrew lived in Canada. We also learned that Maria had one more brother named Peter Kostyniuk, who emigrated to Canada too. We also found a tombstone of Maria's brother Gregory Kostyniuk, who was born in 1907 and died in 1982, and the tombstone of brother Stepan, born in 1911, died in 1988, and his wife Maria, born in 1924, died in 1985. We found the house where the family lived. It is now owned by people who are not related and inherited it due to the fact they had been taking care of Kostyniuks when they were old. That was quite interesting, but one of the inconsistencies was that the father of Peter, Maria and the rest of siblings was Theodore and not George as you indicated. Also, neither Peter nor Andrew ever got married in Canada. Andrew used to come to Ukraine often. Peter never came back. Here is the picture of Andrew. This is Peter. There is a chance you can recognize them because they are related to your great-grandfather Petro, as we found out later. They are his cousins. Their father Theodore Kostyniuk and Petro's father George were brothers. Here is the address of your great-grandfather's cousin, late Peter Kostyniuk, in Canada. This is the testament of your great-grandfather's cousin Andrew Kostyniuk. And this is his picture. Anyway, we continued the research. The second trace appeared to be even more interesting. The woman you see on this picture is named Vera, and she's your great-grandfather's niece, the daughter of his sister Maria. This is the birth certificate of Maria, which says she was born in Tulova village, Snyatin region, on February 2nd, 1892, in the family of George Kostyniuk, son of Onufry, and Paraska, daughter of Gabriel. The certificate is kept at Vera's house. Vera has an old photo album and she keeps a few pictures her mother Maria received from your great-grandfather Petro there. This picture was taken during that visit. The girls you see are your great-grandfather's friends who came to greet him on the occasion of St. Peter and Paul's Day, which is celebrated on July the 12th. They made a wreath and gave it to him as a present. It looked like Vera didn't want to reveal all the details concerning the picture. You'll have a chance to ask if you decide to come to Ukraine. It appears Petro came to visit the family in Ukraine once, and the exact date is unknown. Vera says it happened in summer, some year before 1936. Vera was not able to recall Petro's wife's name, but she is pretty sure she comes from the village of Rudniki, which is nearby. That's another mystery to be solved, as you told me Jessie comes from Butsiv, which is very far from Tulova. Still, she recognized Jessie on the picture as Petro's wife. This is the picture of Maria, Petro's sister, with her children. The story goes that Maria got married twice. Her first husband was Jacob Marmeluk, and they had one daughter named after Maria's mother Paraska. You can see her on the top of the picture. After Jacob passed away, Maria got married for the second time. Her second husband was Ivan Malofei. Here is the picture of him. Ivan also went to Canada to earn money, but he came back home. Let us get back to the previous picture. Maria and Ivan Malofei had 5 children, 4 daughters and 1 son. Anna, born in 1923, is on the right. Olga, born in 1925, is sitting by her mother on the left. Other daughters, Odarka and Vera, are not on the picture. Both are still alive. As you know, Vera lives in Tulova and Odarka lives in the neighbor village. Son Peter, born in 1921, is holding his mother's hand on the picture. Have you ever seen Peter, Maria's son, and your great-grandfather's nephew? This is another picture of him. He died in Edmonton on the 24th of September 2011. According to Vera, Peter Malofei was conscripted to SS Galicia Ukrainian Division, which partially supported Nazis during the Second World War. After the war, he landed in a prisoners' camp in England. Your great-grandfather Petro kept contact with his sister Maria, and he wrote her a letter after the Second World War asking how they are doing and if there is anything he could do for them. After he learned that his nephew is in the prisoners' camp in England, he did everything possible to get him out. This is how Peter Malofei, your great-grandfather's nephew, got to Canada, according to Vera. Peter never got married. Vera visited him in Canada in 1996, and he wanted her to stay with him, but Vera says she would not be able to leave her country as she loves it too much. Peter also visited Ukraine several times, and this is the shrine he put on his parents' household. This is also the place where your great-grandfather Petro and his sister Maria were born. The house you see was put here in 1970s, but this is the place where Kostyniuks moved to after the Great Flood in the 19th century. This is another picture Maria and her daughter Vera received from your great-grandfather. Vera does not remember about Petro's family much, as she never had any personal contact with him. She says she only recalls Petro had 4 children. There were 3 sons and 1 daughter. Basil was the oldest son and he was in the military. Daughter Anna was a teacher. I asked Vera what else she can tell us about Petro. There is a family legend saying that Petro was very skilled in making baskets of willow branches. The sailors on the ship needed baskets to keep the fish they caught, and Petro made many baskets for them on his way to Canada. This way he managed to get to Canada for free, as he did not have any money to buy the ticket. Also, when he landed in Canada, he got to his countryman, Peter Zvarich. I have already mentioned him before. Vera says Petro worked for Peter Zvarich first, but later he managed to buy a shop and a farm. Our visit was a huge surprise for Vera. She had a very hard life. Her father, Ivan, was sentenced to death by Soviets and shot in the prison for hiding 50 kilograms of wheat from the authorities when Vera was 7. That was the food he tried to keep to feed his children. She had to do the manual labor on the farm since she was 13. Maria was very lucky she was not exiled to Siberia for being the wife of the enemy of the nation. That is the brand which was given by Soviets to everybody who did anything contradicting their policy. Vera and her husband Roman Onyszczuk had 4 sons. Roman died 28 years ago. 3 of the sons died too. I did not get into the details when we were talking, as I felt it is still a painful topic. The 4th son's name is Peter and he lives in Tulova. Peter's wife, Galia, is in Italy, where she went to earn money for the family. As you see, the history repeats. Vera has 3 grandchildren: Maria, born in 1986, Roman, born in 1988, and Ivan, born in 1998. Vera asked me to pass you the warmest greetings and tell you she will be happy to host you if you decide to see your ancestral lands and your relatives. She misses her brother, who died in Canada recently, and she is happy to get connected with her relatives in Canada again.
Ой, милий мій, а я твоя, зійшла вечірня зоря, проснеться матінка моя, буде питать, де була я, проснеться матінка моя, буде питать, де була я.
А ти їй дай такий отвіт, яка чудова майська ніч, весна йде, красу несе, а тій красі радіє все, весна йде, красу несе, а тій красі радіє все.